Welcome back. Today we're going to apply what we have learned about the different tradespeople. So we are going to start with a blank piece of paper and we are going to fold it in half. So I folded it in half. Then I'm going to fold it in half again. So now when I open up my paper, I should have 4 boxes or squares that I can now do my drawing in. Next, I am going to label my boxes with numbers. Starting on the left, box is going to be number 1. Then I'm going to go in a clockwise, and I'm going to label the next box 2. Keep going in a clockwise direction. So 3, and my last box is 4. So I have, starting on the left, box 1, 2, 3 over here, and then 4. In each of those boxes, I am going to draw a picture of a tradesperson in the items that they were responsible for making. So in the first picture, in the first box, I'm going to draw a picture of a blacksmith. And a blacksmith was responsible for making things such as nails and tools. So I'm going to draw an anvil. This was something that the blacksmith used to pound nails and hammers, tools, things that they would use on. So I drew an anvil, and I know that the blacksmith also needed to use very hot temperatures. So he would have a fire to heat up the metal that he was using to form the tools. So I'm drawing a fire to represent the heat that he would use to heat up and make the nails and the tools. Next, I'm going to use a gray, and I'm going to make an item that looks like a nail, because I know that he made nails. And I'm going to make a hammer because we had to have a tool to pound in the nails. So he made a hammer. Remember, I am not an artist, and many of you are probably not an artist, but that is okay because it's nice to just draw a picture and make it look like how we think it looks. So the blacksmith is in number 1. This is my anvil that he used to pound the metal on after it came out of the fire. Here is my nail and my hammer. And I left space if I wanted to draw a blacksmith and what he actually looked like. In the second, I am going to draw a dressmaker and what they had that they used. So I know that a dressmaker had needle and thread and all sorts of colors of thread. They also used tape measure or a ruler to measure their customers. And the tape measure, of course, had numbers on it. They also made dresses. The dressmaker was responsible for making the women's dresses. You might also draw scissors because scissors would have been needed to cut the material, the cloth, to make the dresses. It would have also needed to be used to cut the patterns. So maybe you want to draw pieces that look like a pattern. So the next box is the dressmaker's items. So I have a ruler, I have a dress, I have thread, and I have an item that looks like a needle. In the third square, we are going to draw the cobbler. And what did the cobbler make? That's right, the cobbler made shoes. So I'm going to draw something that resembles a shoe. Remember, I'm not an artist, so sometimes my drawing doesn't always look like what it should, but I attempt to draw my best at a shoe. And I know that they used leather, so maybe I'm just going to draw some pieces that might look like pieces of leather that they used. So next was the cobbler, and I drew a shoe, and then these are just some pieces of cut leather. And the last one is the miller. And I remember that the miller was responsible for taking the wheat and the corn and grinding it into flour. So I am drawing some wheat stalks, and I'm drawing some corn. I also remember that the miller used stones, a big round stone, and then a smaller stone to grind. But then they also used buildings, if you went, then sometimes had wheels on them, and they were powered by water. So I'm kind of drawing a little bit of all I remember from the miller. And then the very last is what came out of their shop, and it was bags of flour. All right, so in the last one was the tradesperson, a miller. Here are my wheat stalks and my corn. This is my bowl and my stone that they used to grind. But then some had shops that had a wheel, and it was powered by water. And then these are my bags of flour that can be sold. Mrs. Johnston looks forward to seeing your drawings and what you remember that a blacksmith, a dressmaker, a cobbler, and a miller made in their shops.